my first story time video. I asked you guys in one of my previous videos what kind of videos did you guys want to see, and a lot of you guys said you want me to do some story time videos because those are kind of popular right now. So I figure I got a few stories to share. Hopefully you guys like this story time. The number one question I get on my videos since 2010 is what happened to my face and how did I get the scar and become the female scar face. Okay, so this is my first story time, so I don't know. Hopefully I get everything in the correct order and I try not to ramble too much. So I was working at UPS back in 2002, and in that situation it's a bunch of guys that work there, so I knew I was going to be in a predominantly men industry, but it was some females there because obviously I was there and I'm pretty strong. I was pretty okay with handling working at UPS, so I worked there for about a year. Yeah, like a year. The moment I started working there was like so many guys coming at me left and right. I kid you guys not, like pretty much all of the guys liked me, from the managers to the workers. Like, it was just like so much heat on me because, you know, I was a young tenderoni back then, you know. I'm an OG now, but whatever. But anyway, so it was like so many guys that liked me and it just caused so much attention. It was one lighter skinned girl and it was one dark skinned girl. So the lighter skinned girl didn't like me. For whatever reason, maybe one of the guys that she liked me, and she seen the guy was paying me more attention than her. I mean, what can you do? Now you're gonna get mad at me. You need to be mad at your mama and your daddy. I didn't create you. I remember this girl, I don't even know her name because she was that irrelevant, but I'll give her a name. I'll say her name was, let's call her Latoya, and I still don't know her name to this day. I cannot remember what her name was, but we'll just call her Latoya. So every time I would walk past to go to like the cafeteria, because they had like this big cafeteria at the UPS facility at the airport. So if you guys are new to my channel, I am from Philadelphia. So the UPS facility that I'm referring to was at the Philadelphia airport. They had like this cafeteria there, and like everybody would like meet up to go to the cafeteria and get lunch and things like that. And I could just remember walking by and the girl, she would say all this fly shit to me, like she thinks she's all of that. She got that weave in her hair, like she think that weave is all of that. Like she would say all of this stuff, or she'll say something like, I can't stand her, I don't like her, you know, stuff like that, like little things on the slide. Like it took so much out of me, you guys, because I realized that more so when I was younger, I had an anger management problem. But I really controlled myself in that setting. Like I ignored this girl for literally over a month, and I just can't believe I went that long, because I don't try to be crazy, but like as far as like bullying and things like that, I do not stand for. So typically if I see somebody getting bullied, I will jump in and defend that person. Or if somebody's trying to bully me, I would stand up and I would take a fist and bam, okay? So anyway, I ignored this girl for over a month, and I remember talking to this guy, and I know she was talking to some other guy, and the guy that I was talking to beat the guy up that she was talking to. So she was even more mad at me for that, which I didn't have anything to do. Like, you need to be mad at your boyfriend, he might need some boxing lessons or something like that. The situation between she and I got worse. Like she would just, even like that bitch, like saying little stuff when I walk past that bitch, like that bitch thinks she all that, like I can't stand that bitch, I do not like that bitch. And she'll be talking to like the girl that she used to hang out with, the dark skin girl with the short like Caesar cut. Like I said, I ignored her until one day, just one day, I got fed up. You know how you get fed up and you just get tired, you guys? I try not to be a violent person. Like I said, I do have an anger management problem. I'll go from 0 to 100 like in a matter of seconds, but it took me like over a month to actually respond to this girl. Like one day I was walking by to go to the cafeteria and she was like, I can't stand that bitch, like I want to fight her. So I stopped, you guys. I stopped and I was like, you want to fight me? You want to fight me? I was like, all right, we can fight when we get off work. And she was like, all right, bet. So I went to the cafeteria, got my food, we sat down at the tables, I played spades with all the people that was there. And of course my team will always win in spades because, you know, I'm like the best that ever did it. So I ain't paid no mind that me and the girl supposed to fight, but other people heard the situation between the girl and me, like when we was having our little words. So the guys was like, you should not fight that girl. That girl is shady. Like, mind you, I didn't know this girl. I didn't know her name. I didn't know where she was from. You know, I didn't know where she lived. So the guys was like, no, you too pretty to be fighting. Like, you shouldn't even pay her no mind. You shouldn't fight her. And I was telling them that I've been taking this girl's abuse for over a month, and I just got sick of it. So they was like, all right, well, do what you gotta do. At that particular time, I lived in this apartment building, and my friend, she lived upstairs, and her cousin lived upstairs. The cousin was a guy, and he worked at the facility where I was working. So we would get the bus together, we would come home together. That day, it was time to get off. We would get off like around 3 in the morning, and it was like this free bus service, like the yellow bus that would pick you up from a destination, take you to work. Then the yellow bus would pick you up from work and drop you off to a specific location, and then you would just walk home from there or catch another bus, whatever have you. So me and the guy got on the bus. I was sitting in the back with my squad. It was like all these guys and a few girls. We was sitting in the back of the bus, you know, squad up. And her friend and a couple other people were sitting at the front. And we all like just talking like, no, like they was just saying like, no, like I can't believe you about to fight her. Like, why? Because they wanted to see me whoop her ass. So it was like, oh, it's late. I gotta go home. And normally I get off the stop before this girl, so I know she was serious about fighting me, because when I got off of my stop, her and her friend got off the bus with me and my friend's cousin that lived in the apartment building with me. So I was with him and she was with her friend. So I get off the bus and I'm like, oh, she really want to fight. So the guy that I was with, he was like, no, Kia, come on, like don't fight. Like, and I was like, no, what's up? Like, you want to fight me? So at that particular time, I had like 2 cornrows with the extension hair, and at that time it was that time of the month for me, so I was already cranky as it is. I was already like PMSing. It was drizzling outside. It was like a little misty rain. So I'm like, come on, like, let's fight. Like, you wanted to fight me. I'm tired of you talking shit to me. So she gave her bag to her friend. I gave my bag and my jacket to the guy that I was with, and we started fighting. People look at me and they think that I'm just a prissy girl, like I'm a rip her out the frame. So when we started fighting, right, I'm strong as an ox, like I'm strong as some men out here in these streets. But she didn't know that, because I'm so quiet and I'm reserved and I keep to myself. But we got out in the street. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's misty. I'm on my monthly. Like, we got out there and we started rumbling. She didn't know I used to box. Like, see, you can't never underestimate people. You can never take people for granted, especially if you don't know them. I started giving it to her. Like Kevin Hart say, she was not ready. She was not ready for this ass whooping. Like, she was not ready. So what she did was, I remember her friend had a Nantucket orange juice. And you guys know the Nantucket bottles is thick as hell, okay? This happened in a matter of like 3 seconds. She grabbed that Nantucket bottle, cracked it on the ground, and she came full force to me. And she jabbed it in my forehead. Jabbed it in my forehead down to my skull. I kind of got lightheaded at that time, and I like kind of fell out a little bit. And like I felt something coming down my face, but it was raining, so I wasn't sure. So I grabbed my face, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? It was like all this blood running down my face. It happened so fast that it just was like a shock. Like I kind of like blanked out. So my shirt was ripped, my chest was out. I did not care. Like, so I guess she thought it was over after she stabbed me. So I got up, I'm still fighting her, still giving it to her. And she like, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. So I walk up, then she hit me. I was like, what, you think that shit fazed me? Do you think it fazed me? I'm still giving it to her, She was like, go ahead, I don't want to fight no more, And I'm like, no, you started this, you wanted this, like you wanted it. So we going at it, and then she just like kept backing up. She didn't want to fight no more. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to even fight her no more, because she don't want to fight no more. I remember this couple drove up in the car. It was like this girl and this guy. They drove up. They looked out the window like, damn, because my head was like split open, like split to the white meat. And it was like, oh my God, you want us to take you to the hospital? Like, they was like so hysterical, like, what the fuck, like, you want us to take you to the hospital? I was like, no, I'm cool, I'm about to go home, I'm going home. So the girl was like, the girl that I was fighting, she asked the couple, like, can you take me home? And them motherfuckers took her ass, them motherfuckers let her get in the car and they drove her home. Somebody that just stabbed somebody in the head, this couple picked her up at 3 something in the morning and proceeded to take her home. Now, if I knew that this girl just had stabbed somebody, bitch, you can't even get in my car because, like, I don't know what the hell you capable of doing. I went home, right? Me and the guy, we went home. Well, he went upstairs, I went to my apartment, and I remember my young brother, he was on the couch sleeping. I came in the door, my adrenaline was going, I'm hype, my whole face was covered in blood. I woke him up and I was like, yo, this bitch just stabbed me or whatever, like, and I'm like hysterical. I wasn't crying or anything like that, but he got up, he looked, and he was like, yo, like, he's like, where that bitch at? Like, come on, we going to our house. I'm like, I don't know this girl. I don't know where she live at. I just know she work at my job. He was going crazy. This is not fair. Like, you want to fight somebody, then you pick up a weapon. So he like, yo, he pacing back and forth, going crazy. Like, she just stabbed you. Look at your head. Like, he's like, come on, let's go find her or whatever. So I'm like, no, it's cool. And by this time it was like 4 something in the morning. So I took out my braids because I had the 2 cornrows in with the extension hair. I took that out and I washed my hair. Like, when I was leaning over in the sink, blood was just gushing out, you guys. I was like so scared to go to sleep. I did not go to sleep. I did not go to the hospital until 10 o'clock in the morning, okay? I know that is very stupid for somebody to be gushing out blood and to not go to the hospital, because I'm so terrified of hospitals. I didn't go until like 10 o'clock in the morning. So I went to the hospital, right, because the blood would not stop gushing out. And I was afraid to go to sleep because it was a serious injury, you guys. It was split open to the white meat. So I got to the hospital, right, and I sit at the desk. Blood is still coming out. I couldn't control it from coming out. So I get to the front desk and the lady at the front desk is looking like, she was in shock for like 4 seconds. She was like, who did this to you? Who did this to your face? I was like, I don't know the person. I don't know her name or anything. I got into a fight at 3 o'clock in the morning. She was like, 3 o'clock in the morning? It's 10 something in the morning. She was like, you could have died. Like, you're supposed to come straight to the hospital. That is a head injury. That's serious. So I'm just sitting there. So she was like, 1 second. She came back with the police. I didn't want to be about that life with the police. I just wanted to catch her when I caught her on my own time. But the lady got the police and they was asking me questions. I'm like, I don't know this girl. I don't know where she live at. I just know that we work together at UPS and that's the only thing I know. So they was like, all right, well, we're going to do some investigation. So it was like a female cop back there as well. So she was talking to me. And she was like, why would this girl want to fight you if you don't know her? I said, you know what? It was a lot of guys that liked me. Maybe she liked one of the guys. She was jealous or whatever. She was like, the female cop was like, do you have a picket fence house? Do you have a nice car? Like, I don't understand why she would be jealous as to want to stab you in your face. Did she throw shade at me? Like, first of all, you don't know what I have. You just assume, even though I don't have a house with a picket white fence. But that's not the case. Like, girls will want to fight you over anything. Like, girls will want to kill you or stab you over anything. So, especially out here in Philly, I don't know how it goes down in any other cities or whatever. I was just so mad that this lady cop was trying to play me. Anyways, I went back to the doctor. He looked at the cut and he said, this is a very serious cut. Like, it is all the way down to your skull. Like, it started from back in my hair, it skipped, and it came back down. I mean, any further, it would have went to my eye. Like, it was serious. My adrenaline is going right now just talking about it. Like, you guys don't understand. My adrenaline is, whew, it's like it just happened again. Like, it's happening right now. So, the doctor, he opened it up a little bit. Well, first of all, the doctor, he stuck a needle in my forehead, and that was like the worst experience because a needle going into something this hard, like, it just was excruciating. So he stuck the needle in my head just to numb it up, because he needed to open it up and look inside, because I told him she stabbed me with a glass bottle. So he opens it up, he looks in, and he's like, it's all this glass shattered. So he's using this little tool to kind of get the glass out. He was like, do you feel that? Like, that is your skull that I'm scraping against. Like, and I'm like, I can feel the pressure from it, but because it was so numb, I couldn't really feel too much, but I can feel the pressure and I can hear like the scrapes. And it was just so, like, I just couldn't believe that I was going through anything like that. But yeah, anyway, he stitched me up and the doctor did a good job, even though I still have a scar. You guys probably won't be able to see the scar because I do have a foundation situation going on, so you probably won't be able to see the scar. I didn't go to sleep that whole day. I didn't go to sleep until the next day because I was just so scared to go to sleep. I don't even think I went to sleep for 2 days. Like, I think I was just up because I was so scared that I wasn't going to wake back up. After that, I had migraines for like a whole month. I didn't want to press charges on the girl. I know you guys are like, why didn't you want to press charges? This girl stabbed you. But I didn't want to press charges. At the time, I was going to school, and you know, my major there was psychology, and it was pretty difficult. I didn't want to miss school and just take off. I feel like I was going to let God handle this situation with her, but the cops, they wanted to get her anyway. They found this girl. I guess they went to UPS. They asked some questions, and next thing you know, they contacted me and was like, we got the girl. Her name is such and such, such, such. And you know, the cops was telling me when we caught her, she had marijuana on her, and you know, because I didn't go to court on her, she only got the charges for the marijuana, and you know, they gave her like 2 months. I think they said 2 months. I went to court the first time, and then I just stopped going because I was like, oh, I'll just see her on the street. But at this particular point in my life, that was so long ago. Like I said, this happened in 2001, 2002. And at this particular point in the way that I think in my mind frame, instead of trying to take the matters into my own hand, I'll just let God handle her. I'm pretty sure she won't have an amazing life after what she did. She thought that she was going to mess my face up and that I was going to be unpretty. She just, you know, no, it just made me unique. It made me have a story to tell, and it made me stronger. So she really didn't hurt me at all. So this whole situation could have been avoided had I continued to ignore this person and just keep on walking by. But for me, back then, I was the person that did not want to be punked. I didn't want to feel like I was being bullied, because I remember I was bullied in like elementary school, and it's not a good feeling. 9 times out of 10, the person that's bullying somebody can't really fight to begin with. But I don't recommend any violence. I don't recommend people fighting, especially not over no guy, especially not over no petty stuff, because a bitch don't like you for whatever reason. People are not going to like you. People are going to talk about you like they talked about Jesus himself. Everybody gets talked about. It's up to you if you are going to respond. If somebody put their hands on you, then that's totally different. But somebody just saying things, you can avoid certain situations. Like, I could have avoided being stabbed and almost killed, but I just let it get the best of me, and I couldn't take it anymore. So I decided to stand up for myself, and this is what happened. So this is my story time of when I got stabbed. So that was my most asked question. If you guys want to see more story times, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And make sure you go follow me on Instagram at KikiCouture10. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.